You're listening to Greater Good Radio Hawaii. Please visit us online at greatergoodradio.com. Today's guest is Jimmy Yamada Jr., owner of A-1 Electrician, Inc.
Does the company get involved with these organizations, or is it primarily you're the one that's getting involved with the organizations?
Both, because for us, we cannot separate the company from the Yamadas. So for myself, it's time and energy. For the company, it's finances. So we have a Good Samaritan fund that we fund, and we also have a Good Samaritan Foundation, which is a 501(c) organization, and we also give into our Good Samaritan fund, or out of our Good Samaritan fund. So it's for us, it's one and the same.
How does that work then? The Good Samaritan fund, is it a certain percentage of A1A profits goes into that, and then it goes into the foundation?
We try to be good stewards of our funds. If we have profits, then a certain amount, which varies year to year based on where we are, and so it's pretty discretionary based on the Yamadas, how the Yamadas feel about that.
And how do you decide where the money or the funds go?
I think God brings us to the people that He wants us to connect with. And so as we connect with these organizations, and there's God's hand moving through our daily lives, we try to support those that we feel good about supporting. We wouldn't support something that we were uncomfortable with. So it's pretty much we see God's hand moving in how He brought us together and how He connected us in these these various organizations and people.
So with your family, you folks are all very spiritual?
Some more than others.
How about the company itself, the employees? Do they all buy into the same principles?
Some more than others.
Do you find that with the charitable giving from the company that the employees are more engaged?
I think so. I think that when they recognize that we're concerned about people, and there's a social responsibility that Drucker actually says that businesses have. In fact, that's one of Drucker's 3 tenets, that we give back to society, and they are part of society. And when they hear that we may be helping Salvation Army, anyone out there that has someone in drugs, recognizing that the Salvation Army helps kids in drugs, I think that it rubs off on their thinking. So,
do you find that encourages the employees to do charitable works outside of business and outside of the company?
We don't try to impose our thoughts on them. I think our main philosophy is that we take care of the workers, and we try to move that into their families. So I think if we take care of their families and the workers and give them good, consistent work, they don't have a problem not aligning perfectly with our philosophical beliefs that may be different from theirs.
So the organizations that you folks are supporting, why did you decide to support these specific organizations?
I'll have to answer that this way. It's the hand of God just moving through. Each situation has its own personal relationship where God spoke to me and said, I want you involved in these organizations. So at another time, we'll share those.
You know, that brings up actually an interesting point. When you say spoke to you, though, does that mean it's actual words that you're hearing, or is it instances or experiences or kind of epiphany type things, or how does the communication actually happen?
All of the above. God can speak in dreams, vision, in your ears, in your heart, on a bit of pain. I think I've heard His voice in many different ways. For maybe something like surfing the nations, God, I think, brought me. I was surfing one day, and I saw this person, and we connected. And as I was driving home, I felt the Lord speaking to my heart and say, you need to help him build his ministry. But I didn't. I knew him by his first name, and I thought I would never see him again. A year and a half later, God connected my son, David, who's in the ministry now, with his daughter at Mauna Loa High School. And so from that connection, I recognized that God's hand was bringing back us together. So it's God opens doors and God closes doors. So
what do you do for the surfing project, Surfing the Nation project?
We help financially. I do a Bible study once a week up at their facilities. I've been doing that for the last maybe 3 or 4 years. We've helped with their youth group, having them, they were holding Bible studies. My son was leading a Bible study with some of their group, which grew from 6 to 8 kids till about 20 to 30. One day we had 80 kids and young adults at our home. Fed them dinner, they worship, they do Bible studies, and they don't do drugs and go killing people.
Do you have a success story to come out of that? Maybe something that you know that, wow, this is really worth it. This changed your life.
There's a young man by the name of Derek who I believe one day about 3, 4, 5 years ago probably could have killed himself, was planning to, and came to our Bible study, got connected up with Surfing the Nations, and today is part of a full-time missionary at Surfing the Nations. They'll go out into the world, Bali, and Sri Lanka, different places. They feed maybe 1,200 to 1,500 people in Kalhi Valley once a week. Derek's part of that. And today I see him in church. He's coming to our church. And he has a big, giant smile. I just saw him this past Sunday, shook his hand. And I say, God is moving in Derek's life. So there's thousands of those kids from Surfing the Nations over the past 8 years.
Thanks for joining us today on Greater Good Radio. For more information or a transcript of today's show, please visit us online at greatergoodradio.com. This is your host, Evan Leong and Carrie Leong, saying please join us next time for another episode of Greater Good Radio, Hawaii.